Hey everybody, it's Kim Dahnke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, and it is Monday night. On Monday night, we do the simple food combining webinar. Last night, we did the lifestyle overview, and tonight we are doing the simple food combining webinar. Last night's class gave you a aerial view of the Shibboleth lifestyle. Tonight's class dives right down onto the specific topic of food combining and will give you some ideas of what types of foods go together. Awesome, Patty. Thank you. If you are in the Zoom room, please take a second to set your chat to everyone. Your options when you have a chat are hosts and everyone. So go ahead and click everyone and then just take a second to say hello. Let me know if you were here last night. I love to know my audience. Hey, Nikki, thank you for saying hello over there on Facebook. On Facebook, if you're with us, let us know where you're from and if you're a member or not. So the things I would like to know are you a new member? Or are you not a member at all? We welcome all of our new members. We are so glad that you're here with us. And if you are not a member, you are our special guest. We want to make sure that you know what the Shibboleth lifestyle has to offer you. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Amanda and Deborah, glad y'all are here. Let's see, Deborah. Mary, back for tonight. Awesome, Mary. Yes, Amanda was here last night. She is a new member. And let's see, Amanda is friends with Alicia. And then Mary is friends with Dawn. I just try to put everybody together. We got Temperance, and Temperance is friends with Kristen. Welcome, new member from Jordan. Hey, Jenny Lauer. Are you Jenny from the block? Is your mom Jan? Hey, Sharon, glad you're here. Wasn't here last night, somewhat new from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. So glad you're here. Beverly, next new member, welcome. And Debbie, a new member. Jessica, new member. Let's see, Vicky. Vicky didn't make it last night. I will show you where to watch last night's video. It's very important. See, Claudia did watch last night, though. Awesome. New member, second day. Deborah Perry was here last night trying to get back on track. You're in the right place. Hey, Jenny, glad you're here. I'm friends with your mom, so I would have not known that special name. Angelia is here with us. She's hanging out with us all the time, and I love that. Just making sure she's staying on track, learning all she can, because we cover different things at each night. Yay, awesome, Diane. Thank you for sharing. Diane has been a member since 2019. Mickey is from Madison, Georgia, and ready to do the program the correct way. I'm so glad to hear that, Mickey. And hello, Donna. Glad that you're here with us. Hey, Darren. Okay, so was here last night and an old member restarting. Looking for replay of last night. Wonderful, Nadine. I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to fast track. So in fast track, I got there by, I already had it set as a favorite. I set everything as a favorite. 1 week in and down 5 pounds. Congratulations, Becky. I love hearing that. That is awesome. Congratulations. And thank you for sharing. And Katrina Doris from Lafayette, Georgia. Welcome. So glad you are here. Okay, so in fast track, you've got these little laps. All these laps are is the education system. And look at that. That might look like a big long list. It's not. These 4 things down here at the bottom take you about 10 seconds each. Yes, Patty is reminding everybody to ask questions too. Hey, Joni, new member, we're glad that you are here. If anybody who is listening does not have a membership yet, you can get that membership at shibbolethdeals.com. shibbolethdeals.com. And right now it's $69 for a lifetime membership. It is a steal. I'm telling you, it is a steal. This is 20 years of research by Travis Martin. I mean, somebody could spend 20 years doing this on their own if they wanted to, but I don't think I want to waste 20 years doing this. I want to know now from somebody else's knowledge. I'm smart enough to know, pay $69, get that knowledge and apply it. Thank you, Patty. So these 4 little things here take you like 10 seconds to do all of them. So don't look at the list and think that it's long. Some of them are very, very quick to do. But those of you who need to watch last night's webinar in lap 2, it says, watch the daily fast track webinars. There are 7, or participate live nightly. And then I wrote, that's what we prefer. Of course, I prefer for you to be on here nightly, because if you had a question, you can ask it and I can answer it. That's why I prefer that. But we do know that people have very busy lives, and we record everything that we do, except for the Saturday online accountability meeting, because it goes into breakout rooms and Zoom doesn't record that. Plus, it's kind of private. So if you want to be a part of that, y'all can come on there. But if you didn't get to watch it live, you just simply click there, and there are the nightly webinars, and this would be the Sunday night webinar. So it's in lap 2 for those of you who need to know where that is. Now, tonight, I'm going to be going over this Simple Food Combining website link. I've linked it here so that you have access to it later, because so many people say, I need to know, I need to have access to that. So I just put it here for easy access. Okay. Thank you, Patty. Now, I don't actually go over lap 1 and lap 2 with y'all, because this is printing some things, watching some things, joining some groups. Those are just things that you need to do on your own. And in lap 2, confirming your email, finding your ideal weight, completing a full body assessment, taking some pictures, completing your profile, and writing your why. These aren't things I can help you with either. So I have them in lap 1 and lap 2. Okay. But then this is just where I house the webinars from each night. This is where I have the website link I'm using tonight. And if by chance you haven't already taken the fast track quiz to earn your badge, then you would do that right here before you move into tomorrow night's lap. Because when we get to lap 3, all the way through lap 7, I actually do go over every single one of those with you, because it's helping you shorten your learning curve on using the website. How can you effectively and efficiently learn to use the food library, the recipe library, the restaurant guide, the video library, the wow challenges, the meal plan generator? You come on and you watch me show you how, and then you can ask questions. So that's what lap 3 through 7 is all about. Okay. Hey, Delian, I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, just watch it right there, Delian, right there. Okay. But tonight we're doing this. And we're going to come and what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap the fats and oils one time. I'm going to go over condiments, because we didn't even touch on those last night, but I'm going to go over them one time. And then each time I come to a new category, I'm going to read the list. I read the list because when you're trying to educate yourself on something, you really need to hear it, to read it, and to hopefully write it if you like those foods. Okay. It helps you learn everything that you need to know. And then I'm only going to read the new categories that we come to, and then talk about the combinations. All right. And then when we get to the end, we're going to talk about some other random things, like some breads and some milks and cheeses and carb quick and sweeteners and things like that. Okay. So cooking oils and fats. 1 tablespoon is what you would not want to go over for a serving. So for example, if you're cooking yourself 1 piece of chicken in a pan, then you could put 1 tablespoon in there and use it to cook in. But if you're cooking, let's just say 4 or 5 pieces of chicken for the family, then you can put 4 to 5 tablespoons in there, because it's going to need it to cook all of that up. Okay. So you can do that. The cooking oils that we use is 100% MCT oil. MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride. I'll go over that in just a second. Coconut oil, ghee butter, spelled Ghee and pronounced ghee butter, and 0-calorie cooking spray, or what a lot of people know as PAM. But any 0-calorie cooking spray works fine. So MCT is an oil that is a shorter fat lipid, and it's kind of very different than a long chain triglyceride. A long chain triglyceride is a longer fat lipid, and it's very dense. So it takes a long time for it to burn up and break down. So that's why we don't want to use that. We on the Shibboleth lifestyle are trying to access stored energy. And so you don't want to give your body easily accessible sources of energy. You want to make sure that you are doing all that you can to make sure that your body has to access stored energy for the energy that it needs daily. And swapping your oils is one of those things. So MCT oil is what you want to use, preferably. Coconut oil is also an approved oil. Just keep in mind, it's 66% MCTs, not 100% MCTs. And ghee butter, it's one of those things that I would use for, let's say I'm going to make a shrimp scampi or dip some lobster tail or crab legs or something like that. Excuse me. Or for a recipe. But I don't particularly care to use ghee butter on a piece of toast. I would use more like Brummel and Brown yogurt butter. Or if I'm looking for a 0-calorie butter, I might do the I can't believe it's not butter spray. Ghee butter is, I like it because I can use it purposeful, okay? And it's about 25% MCTs. Now, 0-calorie cooking spray has 0 calories, where 1 tablespoon of MCT oil has 130 calories. Why would you choose to use something that's got calories in it versus a 0-calorie cooking spray? Because MCT oil also has some great properties. One is it has a metabolism building effect, and 2, it has a muscle preserving effect. And we want to do both of those things in the Shibboleth lifestyle. And that metabolism building effect has to do with it burns so quickly that it creates a little bit of heat when it's burning up and will burn a few extra calories. Now you're hearing me say lots of great things about it, but I only want you to use it for 3 reasons. Cooking in a pot, a pan, however you cook, cooking with a recipe, or making approved salad dressings. That's how we use it. We do not put it in bulletproof coffee because that's just adding 130 random fat calories to a pre-digested drink. There is nothing to slow it down there. Okay, but if you cook it with chicken breast and broccoli, there's a lot of stuff going on in there that will slow that absorption down, and it'll work. We do not randomly add it to shakes, and we don't take it as a supplement. Okay, so for those 3 reasons, but you're going to hear a lot of noise out there in the marketplace about MCT. They may not be in the same nutritional situation you're in, and we've got to use MCT oil the way we say it for the results that we want here. So I hope that makes sense. And Patty is making some great points. MCT needs to be cooked. You cook your food on medium to low heat, otherwise it will set off your smoke detector. It has a low smoke point, so use it on low to medium heat. And then ghee butter does not necessarily need to be kept in the refrigerator because it will get very, very hard. And as much as it looks like you would be able to take that spoon and slide right through it, it'll be like a rock. So my jar said, keep in refrigerator after opening, but I was told by many, many, many people that I don't have to. So now I keep it in the cabinet with my MCT oil, and that's been fine. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is condiments. See, what is special about condiments is the fact that condiments can make our food taste like we want it to. You take a piece of chicken breast and you use some Mexican seasoning, you can have some Mexican seasoned chicken. You use Italian seasoning, you've got Italian chicken. You use barbecue, you've got barbecue chicken. The chicken is the chicken, but it's switching up these condiments that makes our meals taste like we want them to. So it's very important to know how to use condiments. There are lots and lots of things that can be used as condiments. And in fact, there's so many things that could be used as condiments that we do not have them all in the food library. So we give you a rule about them so that you can confidently pick condiments when you are in the grocery store. Let's see, I've got some notes. Ghee butter is clarified, so it doesn't go bad. If it does, it would take forever. I keep mine in the cabinet too. Okay, awesome. And Katrina, I was looking for the homemade Cantalina dressing Travis mentioned on the new update and couldn't find it. Hey Patty, are you on here? I think, are you on the, and this is question in Zoom. Could you see if you could find the link for that Catalina dressing that Travis mentioned? That'd be awesome. Thank you, Patty. Okay, awesome. Patty's getting her book. So the condiments. So you can use 0-calorie condiments, 15-calorie or less spices and seasonings, salt and pepper, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free mayo. So all of those things work. But let's just say that you're walking through the grocery store and you want to, you're welcome to Katrina, you're wanting to pick a barbecue sauce. And instead of standing there in front of all the barbecue sauces and looking up each and every one of them in the grocery aisle, the simplest thing to do is to pick up the barbecue sauce and look at the back of it. You're going to look at the nutrition label and you're looking for 2 bits of information. Okay, so Katrina, Patty says it's in the recipe library as MCT Catalina dressing. So maybe you can find it like that, Katrina. So you're looking for 2 bits of information. One, you're going to look for the sugar content. The second is you're going to look for the fat content. So you do not want it to have more than 5 grams of sugar per serving, and you don't want it to have more than 2 grams of fat per serving. So you're looking at 5 and 2. And then the rule is 5, 2, and few. This is a sprinkling. All right. And I'll tell you what the sprinkling is. 5, 2, and few. Now, think about this. This will help you remember which one is which. The word sugar has 5 letters. So you're looking for 5 grams of sugar or less per serving and 2 grams of fat or less per serving. And then for the few part, you do not want to use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal, on a combined meal, okay? Now, with that said, you can use multiple condiments on a meal, but you want all the condiments to meet that 5 and 2 rule, and then you don't want the total of condiments to go over 50 calories. So let's say that you make yourself a 96% lean hamburger patty, and then you want a slice of cheese. Well, most fat-free cheeses are about 30 calories. Then let's say that you want mustard. Well, most mustard is 0 calorie. So you got 2 condiments, but you've only used 30 of your 50. You got 20 more calories to play with. Maybe you want to do the allowed amount of ketchup for that. As long as the ketchup meets the 5 and 2 rule, you could use up to 20 calories of that. And there you go. Awesome. Thank you, Patty. Katrina, she just put the link in there that you can grab real quick. So that is the condiment rule. Now, I like to tell this story because this was such a great experience for me. I went to Publix to buy some Cabot extra light cheese because normally when I shop at Kroger, they don't have it. So I go to Publix to buy it. And but I knew I needed some pizza sauce. And I always buy the Classico traditional pizza sauce. That's different than pasta sauce. It's pizza sauce. So I buy that and I went back to the area and I was just going to grab my pizza sauce and go because I knew what I wanted. I get over there. I'm looking. No Classico, but they had 6 different brands. If I had pulled out my phone and had to type in the name of every single brand, that would have taken me some time. But instead, I turned around all 6 jars and then I started scanning the sugar content. And if it did not have less than 5 or less grams of sugar, I turned it around. It's out of the running. And then I scanned what was left for the fat content. And if it didn't have 2 grams or less, it was out of the running. So out of the 6 that were there, 2 worked and I just picked one. And I bought it, and that's that. So that's how you apply that rule practically when you are standing in the grocery store. Awesome, Vicki. Good. I'm glad that was helpful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start going over these rows, because each row that we go over tonight is an example of a combination. This does not cover every combination that is on the combination charts that y'all have access to. This is just a lesson giving you examples of how to use that. So let's look at this. Now, I'm hoping that you've started making some lists for yourself, maybe written down 1 through 7 at the top, because you definitely want to create your list. It's very important. So if I'm reading something out tonight that you like, please take the time to write it down. Okay, so lean protein is 2 to 8 ounces. Egg whites, fish, chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National 97% lean beef franks, and 96% lean ground meat. So just to kind of go over what some of these things are to make sure that you're familiar with them. 96% lean ground meat, that's that ground meat that you can brown up or make burgers with for, spaghetti or tacos or anything like that. And it's beef, it's chicken, it's turkey. So if it's 96% lean or greater, then it's a category 1 lean protein. Now, I have been in Shibboleth now for 2.5 years, and I just bought my first Hebrew National 97% lean beef franks on Saturday. Hadn't even cooked one yet, but I just bought those on Saturday. So I'm excited to see what they taste like. And then there's fat-free and low-fat cottage cheese here. We do have full-fat cottage cheese on the lifestyle. It's just a category 4 protein plus fat. And then as for yogurt, there's lots of yogurts approved. You would just want to go into the food library, type in yogurt, and they'll pull up. But then what I always do is I pick the -2, -3 yogurts before I make a choice. Now, you might be wondering why boar's head is specifically listed. We just know it's a super lean deli meat, but there's lots of deli meats that are approved. Now, this is a pork product right here, pork tenderloin. And if you do see any visible fat on it, please trim it off, because we do use category 1s to keep us safe when we are eating category 3s and 5s. Okay, so if you see that on there, and this is one of the only pork products, there's some Canadian bacons that are available in category 1, but most pork products are a category 4 protein plus fat. And you'll notice that this is chicken breast and turkey breast, because if you get dark meat chicken or chicken with skin, then it's a protein plus fat. And remember last night that we talked about fish being right here in category 1. So what this row is simply saying is that you can eat category 1 by itself. Now remember, it just goes under your protein hand, okay? You wouldn't put it under both hands, just under the one. Cook it up in the right oil, doctor it up with the right condiments, and you would have an excellent fat-burning meal. We come down here a little bit more, and we have a new category. Category 2, fibrous carbs. Now you'll notice this says half a cup, up to a cup. In weight loss mode, half a cup is really best. But I want to let y'all know, I have never actually measured anything out 2 to 8 ounces, and I've never measured anything out half a cup. I just use my hands, follow the rule, do everything else into play, and go for it. So I would eat some chicken breast under this hand and some broccoli under this hand. I would portion control it. I would lower my hands down over my food, make sure I can't see my food, that sort of thing. But it is very important for you to use this if you have a tendency to overdo your plate and have us if you have a tendency to overdo your portions. Okay, so it's important to know. Okay, so let's read some examples of category 2 fibrous carbs. We got broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, I was going to say hot flowers, because there was hot peppers and cauliflower. Anybody ever heard of a hot flower? We got hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles, green beans. So those are some examples of category 2 fibrous carbs. So right here on the food combination, You simply, this is combining foods. You simply pick something from category 1 and something from category 2, and you eat it together. You can cook it up in an appropriate oil and doctor it up with the right condiments and have an excellent fat burning meal. If you want to make this meal, let's say that you picked something that you could cook, like you wouldn't put MCT oil in cottage cheese or yogurt. I mean, but if you took something that you could cook and you put 1 and 2 together, which oil would you use to make it be the fastest fat burning combination? And y'all can answer. Yep. Angelia, temperance, awesome. MCT. Yes, Nikki, MCT. Yeah, you would use MCT oil to make it be the fastest fat burning combination because that MCT burns quickly and it has a heating up effect and it'll help burn a few extra calories. Okay. Awesome, Mary and Teresa. Good. Okay. So you've got an excellent fat burning meal right here. Okay, we're going to scroll down a little bit more. We've got category 7, shellfish. Now remember, shellfish is really just a what? Y'all tell me. Shellfish is really just a blank blank. You can do the abbreviation, the number, anything. I just want to see that you understand. Yep. Awesome, y'all. Great job. Yes, shellfish is really just a lean protein. Awesome. Sherry on Facebook too. Got all kinds of answers over here in Zoom room. Awesome. Okay, it's really just a lean protein. But it was broken off because some people, due to medical reasons and biblical reasons, don't want to eat shellfish. And so it's just in its own little category. So all fish is in lean protein, but all the other critters that live in water, whether or not they have a shell, we just put them in the shellfish category. Okay. Now you'll notice it's 2 to 8 ounces, again, just like the lean protein. You got crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams. And so this right here is just saying that you can eat shellfish by itself. You can cook it up in the right oil and doctor it up with the right condiments and have an excellent fat burning meal. We're going to scroll down a little bit more. And now we simply have the combination of shellfish with a fibrous carb. Cooked up in the right oil, doctored up with the right condiments, and you have an excellent fat burning meal. So for those of you who like shellfish, we're going to stop real quick and just, what would you eat together? What would you eat together? We'll take a second to make a meal real quick and see what y'all would like to eat. Hopefully I have some. If you don't eat shellfish, just give me a lean protein that you would eat. Yes, what would you eat? Okay, Patty would eat shrimp. Nikki would say sauteed garlic lemon shrimp with zucchini. Excellent. Excellent, Nikki. Okay, Sherry says shrimp and broccoli. Excellent. I love that. Teresa, oiled shrimp with broccoli. What kind of oil are you going to use? And Mary, shrimp and broccoli. Awesome. Katrina, cauliflower, mock potatoes. Okay, awesome. That sounds good. Boiled. Okay. All right, Teresa. You had to, I didn't read into that one. Normally I can read into skipped letters and things like that, but I thought that was something new. Oiled. That's funny. Okay, thank y'all for playing along with me and making a meal with that. All right, we've come down to another category, a new one, category 4, protein plus fat. It says 2 to 6 ounces. What was the lean protein? What were the ounces on the lean protein? Somebody tell me. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Awesome. 2 to 8 ounces. Now, it's 2 to 6 ounces on this. It's just a little bit less. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. It's just a little bit less. The reason it's a little bit less is because in 1 gram of protein, there's 4 calories. But in 1 gram of fat, there's 9. So you just back off a little bit on the protein plus fat because you're still going to get the same amount of calories. That's I just want y'all to know why that is. But I'm just going to also tell you, I've never measured it out. I just put it underneath my hand, and if it fits, I eat it. Now I'm not trying to shove it in where it all fits, it's still reasonable. But that's why you get a fewer ounces. Okay. Whole eggs are here, all cuts of steak, all cuts. Pork ribs, beef ribs, pulled pork, beef brisket. No, Patty, don't do that. 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat, and turkey kielbasa, as long as that you don't use more than, as long as the turkey kielbasa doesn't have more than 50% calories from fat. Nadine, for a lady, you could do up to 2 eggs, and men could go up to 3. Turkey kielbasa. Let's just say that you pick some up and you flip over the nutrition label and you're looking at that. You don't want more than 50% of the calories to come from fat. Otherwise, it would be too fatty to be approved. So you just want to have a look at that. And sometimes when you're looking at that nutrition label, it says calories 110, calories from fat 50. But then you look at the fat grams and you multiply the fat grams by 9, and it's more than 50, and it puts you over the 50. So I actually will do the multiplication on that one rather than trusting the nutrition label, because sometimes it's not right. Yes, awesome, Patty. Thank you. And this 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat. This is, again, that ground meat, chicken, turkey, beef. And that would be a category 4 protein plus fat. I don't know if you are used to buying 90%, 85%, or lower percentage. It's not approved for a perfect Shibboleth day. You could still eat it on a holiday, but it's not approved for a perfect Shibboleth day. Here's why. It's a processed meat. They've really just taken a whole bunch of fat and added a little bit of meat to it. And that's what you get with anything less than 93% lean, even though it sounds like it's lean. Okay, it's really not. Okay, so you can have category 4 by itself, but optimally you'd have it with a category 2. No, Nikki, there's really no fat burning coffee drink. You especially do not want to put MCT oil in it. You can, Sherry, you can print this list. There's a print button at the top. Yeah, no, you definitely do not want to put MCT oil in coffee. See, coffee is a pre-digested drink. There is nothing in that to slow down even the fat absorption of even a good fat. So yeah, you don't want to do a fat burning coffee. Now, if you go into the food library and you look up some coffee drinks, if they're approved and they kind of have that name on them, that kind of thing, you can use them, but you wouldn't want to kind of make your own. We don't make bulletproof coffee here. And I'm not a coffee drinker either, Nikki. So I just know to say those things. But if what you might want to do is go into the Silver Level Facebook group, and in the search bar for that group, put in coffee, and then just start reading what people write about coffee, because you'll find a lot just from looking at previous posts about coffee too. Okay. All right. So optimally, you'd have this with a category 2. So you can pick something. Y'all tell me, what would you pick from category 4 and eat with category 2? What would you pick? And while y'all are writing things in, you're welcome. While you're writing things in, I'm going to keep explaining something and ask another question. There's a column that was right here. It was right before the condiments on all of those others. Okay, Amanda would have steak and broccoli. Steak and broccoli. We got a lot of steak and broccoli going on. Sounds good. Katrina, well, I'd have to look that up. Let's see. Dunkin' Donut frozen unsweetened coffee. I would assume that it is, since it's unsweetened, but I'll have to look it up. Okay, we got pork tenderloin and spinach. Yeah, now pork tenderloin would actually be a category 1 but that sounds good too. Eggs and broccoli, steak and broccoli. Okay, that's great. Awesome, y'all. There we go. Awesome. Patty is giving you a list, Nikki, for chocolate, coffee, pick-me-up. Let's see, Becky, pulled pork on an approved bun. I like that idea. That sounds great. And Sherry says whole eggs and spinach. Yes, these are great ideas. Now, what was the column that was right before the condiments that is not listed right here? Because I had been saying pick something. Yes, Temperance. The oils are missing. That's right, Amanda and Mary. Why do y'all think these oils are missing? Christine says sirloin and green beans. That sounds great. Patty is a big help on that coffee because I don't drink it. Yesterday I had a delicious burger from Miller's Ale House with broccoli. It was delicious. Yeah, there's just fats already there. So you do not need to add fats. That's right, Diane. Thank you all for answering. You don't need to add fats. There's already fat there. So when I cook a lean protein, I use the MCT oil. But when I cook a protein plus fat, if I need some type of cooking medium, I use 0-calorie cooking spray. So I don't need to add fats to this. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to scroll down again. We've got category 6, superfood. And the ones that we have listed here, pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans, peanut butter, nuts, seeds. So there's some superfoods. And I didn't say this last night, but I do want you to be aware of this. A food qualifies to be a superfood because it's got all 4 macronutrients in there. Water is a macronutrient. It is the #1 most important macronutrient, and it's a 0-calorie macronutrient. So water in there, there's protein, there's fat, and there's carbs. So superfood has all 4 macronutrients in it. So that's how you get this list. It can be eaten alone. If you are eating beans and such like that alone, you can have a cup to 1.5 cups. But if you end up using superfoods with a combined meal, let's say green beans and chicken breast, and you want to add some beans, like a superfood beans to it, you wouldn't use a cup to a 1.5 cups because it would be too much for that full plate. So this is listed out if you're eating it alone, okay? Jenny, any peanut butter without hydrogenated vegetable oil in it, typically it'll say natural on it, is approved. But there are some better peanut butters to get. They have been made in a way that some of the fat has been pulled out and they have been fortified with protein. The 3 peanut butters that we like best for people to use are Better Than peanut butter. It's like better and then in peanut butter, Better Than peanut butter. We do sell that in our little store. You can find it out in other places as well, but we do sell it in our little store, online or in person. The next one is Nuts and More. And thirdly, the Peanut Butter and Company. Those are the top 3 that we suggest most often, but any natural peanut butter and peanut butter without hydrogenated vegetable oil is approved. Yes, you're welcome. We're going to talk about that PB&J in just a second, Katrina. So this, you can eat superfood by itself. You can use it, the condiments with it, but what column is missing right here? The oils. You don't really need to add it to that. Now, on your very first combination chart, for the first kind of 7 to 10 days, and if you do it that way anytime, it's okay. Travis has got some options in there for you if you wanted to put some MCT oil with that. So you'll notice that one difference, but you don't really need to add a bunch of oils to that because one, it's already got some in it and it's got some carbs. So, I mean, I wouldn't add it. Okay, now we've come to category 6, superfood, eaten with category 2 fibrous carbs. Okay, so Travis says this is where you get your greens and beans. So you could do greens and beans here if you wanted to, but this is also where you find a peanut butter and jelly. So you got your peanut butter, and although you do not see it currently listed here, we have a lot of category 2 fibrous carb breads. So you just get your bread, your peanut butter, and sugar-free jelly as your condiment. You wouldn't want to use more than 50 calories. So you would take 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, not more than 2 slices of bread. Most people wouldn't do that anyway. And then up to 50 calories worth of condiment, and you've got your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I always like to talk about Nikki Kyle. She's one of our members who has lost 93 pounds. She loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and she was eating them before Shibboleth. She was eating a fat storing peanut butter and jelly, because you eat peanut butter with the wrong bread, it's fat storage. You eat it with the wrong jelly, it's fat storage. And we'll go, if you didn't watch last night's video, make sure that you watch that, because it talks about why. But then she just switched around her peanut butter, her bread, and her jelly, and it became a fat burning rather than fat storing peanut butter and jelly. It's just some simple swaps that we're making, simple swaps. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is the only place that I really hit peanut butter. But if you go into the food library and just type in peanut butter, you'll get all the approved ones. But those 3 that I told you are the ones that we prefer. If you are looking for quantity in peanut butter, you would want to choose Better Than Peanut Butter, because for that one, you actually get 4 tablespoons for a meal or 2 tablespoons for a snack. But all the other peanut butters are 2 tablespoons for a meal and 1 for a snack. So if you're looking for quantity on peanut butter, you would need to get the Better Than Peanut Butter. Let's see, when you eat a PB&J, you have it alone, right? Not with other items. Well, you could have it with a little side item. I'm not sure what kind of side item you want, but you could have it with a little side item. Depends on what the side item is. What would you like as a side item? You could do a category 2, maybe some little cucumbers or something like that. You can have some chips that are perfect pairing chips. You can have some perfect pairing chips. Quest chips, they're a perfect pairing. That should be fine. Yep, they're good. Hey, Janet, glad you're on here. Okay, so now we are getting into the nitty gritty, okay? Category 3, energy carbs. Ding, ding, ding. These are the ones that you've got to be super careful about, because they've got to be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So in weight loss mode, about 1/4 cup up to 1/2 cup in maintenance. Okay, 1/4 cup's really best in weight loss mode. That's going to sit about right here on your hand, okay, because I use my hands as my measuring tools. All potatoes are there. Oatmeal, steel cut oats, Quaker fiber and protein oatmeal, long grain brown rice, most lighter colored beans, peas, tomatoes, onions, carrots, whole wheat and whole grain pasta. So I'm not going to go over pastas tonight, because we're going to go over pastas tomorrow night when we start looking at the food library, because we have better options, I think, for you than just a whole wheat or whole grain pasta. Okay, and 1/4 cup of whole wheat or whole grain pasta is really not that much, and you can have some more of some of the other ones. So I'd rather spend my time tomorrow night introducing you to that. But carrots, I want you to know why they're here. Once they're cooked, they're sugary. It changes their makeup a little bit. So they've got to be a category 3 energy carb. If you're eating those little baby raw carrots, like no more than a palmful that would fit in your hand, not a handful, a palmful, like, you know, what would sit there once you open your hand up. then you could have that as a freebie. If you needed it in a moment of mental weakness, you could use that. But if they're cooked, they're a category 3 energy carb. You could also use a few carrots on a salad or something like that as a condiment. Tomatoes and onions. Tomatoes and onions are category 3 energy carbs because they do elevate your blood sugar. All of these things in this, they elevate your blood sugar, especially depending on how you use them. So if you are eating enough onion that would fill up a quarter of a cup, you need to call that an energy carb so that you eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb in order to keep yourself in EFB. Same thing with tomato. If you're eating a quarter cup or more of tomato, you got to call it that. But if you were having a thin little slice of onion or a thin little slice of tomato that's no thicker than your pinky, then you can call that part of your condiment. Okay, you just want to keep in mind you're trying to keep your condiments under 50 calories. Oh, that Angelia, the Travis spaghetti is so delicious. I love it. So let's talk about this. Energy carbs. These things on this short list, there's many more in the food library. These are just short lists. If you eat these, they are going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. It comes out to regulate blood sugar. But now that you're learning that you need to eat in a way that controls insulin, then you're going to pick a lean protein and a fibrous carb to go along with that energy carb. So let's just say that you pick some carrots. Okay, we're going to do about a quarter cup of carrots. They'll sit about right there. I'm going to make a 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty, and I'm going to put some green beans. The carrots are going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. But let me ask this little question real quick. At a quarter of a cup of carrots, did you overeat carrots? Did you overeat carrots at a quarter of a cup? And you eat those carrots, and that's right, Katrina, you did not overeat the carrots at a quarter of a cup. So yes, your insulin release happened, but not dose after dose after dose, as if you eat a 1-pound potato. Okay, you can't even. There's sometimes people eat so much food that your lean protein and fibrous carb can't offset it. So this is another reason why portion controlling is so important. So you ate the quarter cup. Thank you, Janet. That's right. Darren, this is exactly what I'm talking about right now. This is going to answer that question. So when you eat the category 3 energy carb, your blood sugar is going to elevate. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. It comes out to deal with that blood sugar elevation, but you need to control that. So the protein in that hamburger patty, the 96% lean hamburger patty, and the fiber in the green beans are going to neutralize the insulin that came out because of the carrots. It's science. It's a science project going on in your body every single time you eat. You're either going to win the blue ribbon of the science fair or not. So let's win that blue ribbon. So that's exactly what I said right there, Darren. You control blood sugars with foods. See, there's going to be certain foods that you eat that will elevate it. But in this situation, we ate it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb that neutralized the insulin release that came out because of that. And guess what we're doing? We're eating great. We're controlling our blood sugars and we're losing weight. Now, in this particular situation, you are not going to see the oils here because the category 3 energy carbs are the fat bus. They're the fat bus. These are the fat bus. If the fat bus, I'm sorry, they are not the fat bus. They bring the fat bus. These things bring the fat bus. So if you have fat in this meal, it's getting collected. It's getting collected. So these are the catalysts to fat storage. Because I looked up one day how much fat was in a potato, it said 0.5. And I said, okay, I got it. These aren't fatty. They're the catalyst to fat storage if eaten with fat, because they bring an insulin release, which is the fat bus. So you're not going to find the oils right there. So let's scroll up again. Category 5, fruit. Ding, 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 ding. These must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. That's right, Katrina. Starch and sugar, even like the good starches that we just talked about, or even these natural sugars right here, they still bring an insulin release because they still elevate your blood sugar. Yep, that's right, Katrina. That's what they do. Now, there's also man-made stuff that aren't approved. That'd be a holiday, okay? And they definitely bring the fat bus too. But even good high-quality foods, like listed in the energy, carb, and fruit categories, these are good high-quality foods. They just need to be eaten right. They do bring the fat bus. They're the catalyst to fat storage. Okay, so all fruit is in fruit. I'm not going to read the fruit list. I'm going to read 4 of them though. Berries, apples, oranges, and grapefruit. Those are your lowest glycemic, lowest on the glucose or glycemic level indicator, or whatever the list is. So if you want to eat, these would be the best in my estimation for weight loss. So let's say that you want to have a medium orange, medium to small orange. Maybe you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet, and then you can eat your orange. That would be good. Maybe you want to have some berries. Well, let's choose a Greek plain yogurt. And I don't have it listed right here, but if you used hemp flakes would be a category 2 fibrous carb. Then you get some berries. Okay. Awesome, Patty. Thank you. And in this particular situation, you're not going to see any oils listed here either. Now, if you are in weight loss mode, fruit must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb, no matter what, every time you eat fruit. Once you get to maintenance, if you're going to eat fruit with a meal, you should still combine it properly on a perfect day. But in maintenance, you may also have a snack for the day. You may have a snack as a piece of fruit. Let's see, Katrina, you could put a few grapes in chicken salad made with white meat and fat-free mayo. You could put a few grapes in chicken salad. Yeah, as long as it's not going over 50 calories. I mean, let's see. If you're using those as your fruit, yeah, that actually sounds really good, Katrina. So she's got chicken breast, salad, and some grapes on there, and fat-free mayo as a condiment. Sounds good to me. Sounds good. I like it. Great idea. So now we're going to scroll down, and real quickly, I'm just going to cover some other random things that you need to know about. So there are a lot of category 2 breads. With that said, less bread is best. When I do bread, I try to do it either at breakfast or at lunch, and I try to only do one a day if possible. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that, but those are just some strategies. Let's see. Could you eat that chicken salad on a category 2 bread? Yeah. Yes, you could, Janet. Yeah. Yeah. Now with breads, I like to do just one piece of bread if I can. But you could also do it in a wrap. I know you like your wraps. You could do it in a wrap. So you do not want more than 100 calories of bread per meal. You could use the Olay, the La Tortilla Factory 50-calorie tortilla, Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla, Healthy Life bread, Bran Crisp bread, which is really not a bread. It's more like a cracker if you're looking for something firm to eat some of these things with. Healthy Life hot dog buns, and Thomas Light 100-calorie English muffins. All of those breads break down in your body more like a green bean. That's why they qualify to be a category 2 bread. Excuse me. There's also approved pitas and lavash bread and all kinds of stuff. Approved sweeteners: stevia, Splenda, monk fruit, xylitol. Actually, any zero calorie sweetener is approved. And Katrina, technically, I think that it'd be tasty with lettuce, but if you had that chicken as a category 1, and then you ate the bread as a category 2, and then you had the grapes, you really wouldn't even need the other. But I mean, I would. It sounds good to me. Kroger has a category 2 bun called Carb Master. Yes. So you just kind of figure out what's the best. When you go into the food library, you can click on the word breads. But at that point, what I do, and we're going to talk about the weight loss meter tomorrow night. I slide the little weight loss meter down, and I want to see the -2 and -3 -2 and -3 breads, so that I can be picking the best bread. But I buy Sara Lee and it's a 0. So it's just like, I like to start off with the other, taste test, see what I like, and I can always expand if I want to. Approved beverages. Obviously, you need to get one hot dog bun. So let's say that you're eating a hot dog, and in the, yeah, you're welcome. Let's say that you're eating a hot dog and the amount says that you could have 2 hot dogs of it. It still just means 1 bun. So you might want to like cut your hot dogs and cut your bun and put your hot dogs in there, but just one. Approved beverages as needed. Obviously, you want to get your water in. At least 64 ounces at your minimum. Be shooting for a gallon. Any 0 calorie beverage works fine. None of these things take the place of your water, though. You could use unsweet or approved tea, coffee with up to 15 calories of approved sweeteners in it. Yeah, that sounds good to me, Katrina. And then cheese as a condiment. So all of these cheeses that are listed here also fall into a category. These fat-free cheeses are a category 1 lean protein. And this one right here, this Cabot extra light cheese, it's a category 4 protein plus fat. Now this is kind of listed out as using them as condiments. You can use up to 50 calories of cheese as a condiment, but keep in mind, if you want to have multiple condiments on a meal, you can do that. You just got to keep in mind how much these are all worth. If you can't find fat-free cheese at a store, Travis really likes to purchase his cheese from this company right here, Lifetime Fat-Free Cheese, and they just mail it to him. Okay. A lean protein milk. You can use 8 up to 16 ounces. Fat-free Fairlife milk and Kroger Carb Master milk. Those are approved. The reason that is true, Joan. That is true. So lean protein milk, fat-free Fairlife or Kroger Carb Master. These do not have any fat, and they have been fortified with protein. Also, if you're lactose intolerant, they don't have lactose in them either. So these can be used as a lean protein. They're often used in recipes. They are often used as a perfect pairing item. What's a perfect pairing item? A perfect pairing is something that does not follow the rules, but it has been determined by the team that if you follow it in the exact way, it will still work. So for example, if you want to have some cereal that's most cereals have some perfect pairing component to it. And tomorrow night, we're going to talk about phase 1 and phase 2 cereals. Phase 1 cereals are the better cereals for you. Phase 2 cereals opens up things like Captain Crunch and Reese Puffs, and you kind of got to know we didn't go higher quality in the food, but they still work if with these milks. Because think about a cereal. It's starchy. Even though it's approved, they're all 0 on the weight loss meter, meaning not going to help you, not going to hurt you, but they're approved, but they can only be eaten with a lean protein milk. Because even an approved cereal is starchy. So you don't need fat in there, and you need protein to offset it. So that's why it works. Okay, now if you like to bread things, Breadings and Flowers, you can lightly bread with coconut flour, carb quick flour. Claudia, unsweetened almond milk is a category 4 protein plus fat. It's a category 4 protein plus fat. It can be, if you're wanting to do it with a cereal, it needs to be done with a phase 1 cereal only. But you wouldn't want to do it with a phase 2 cereal because they're a little bit too starchy for a protein plus fat. Breadings and Flowers. You can use all of those things. These are all category 2 breadings and flours. But one of the things that I suspect that people use the most often out of this list is Carb Quick. You know Bisquick and you know regular flours. This is our swap for that. Carb Quick. Now you'll notice it's got a K at the end, not a CK. And you can make pancakes and waffles and muffins. You can bread some okra or bread chicken and all kinds of things with Carb Quick. It's really, really a good product. You can make biscuits with it. So this is really, really popular. There is something in our little grocery store online, if you wanted to shop there, called a recipe starter kit. In the recipe starter kit, you get Carb Quick, Mct oil, and ghee butter. So that's something that people buy a whole bunch because they want the Carb Quick and then they want those other things. Yes, and Patty says that she loves the chicken and dumplings with Carb Quick. Now, Carb Quick, when you look at that in the food library, there's 6 pages of recipes with it. So we're just about finished, y'all, for tonight. Cereals. This is just 3 of the phase 1 cereals. So Claudia, if you wanted to have unsweetened almond milk, you could do that with these cereals: Kashi Go Lean Original, K's Natural Cereal, and High Low Nutritious Living Cereal. Now we're going to go over more cereals tomorrow night, all right? Then right here is some restaurants. I don't go over these anymore tonight because I go over restaurants on Friday night. I go over restaurants then, so I don't hit that tonight. But y'all, I'm so thankful that you were here with me tonight. I'm hoping that this helped. This entire webinar will help you control your blood sugars. That whole thing, this whole lifestyle is there to help you control blood sugar. Because when you control blood sugar, you don't have the insulin release, which is a growth hormone that is there to collect fat if you've eaten fat with it. You're welcome. Okay, that sheet, Jenny. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Vicki. Okay, so let me go back and show that real quick. Jenny, we're going to come right here. And in the fast track laps, to get to fast track, you click on dashboard, and then you should be at fast track if you're new. If you're not new, it pulls up to this instructor page. You're welcome, Temperance. And you could click on fast track right here. But if you're new, this should pull up. You click on lap 2. And in lap 2, it says simple food combining website link. And if you click there, you get this. So that's where it is. And what I want y'all to do is I want you to work your way through each little task. I mean, you simply hover your mouse, or if you're on a phone or a tablet, just lightly tap the information you're welcome, and then read that black box. The black box is like the instructions for that action item. You're welcome, Teresa. You read the black box so you'll know what you're doing. And then you click here and it takes you where you need to be. And then you do it. And then you come and check this box. And then you just methodically work your way through this. From here, all the way to here are some printables. So if you can print them, print them. If you don't have a printer, just write notes, just make notes, screenshot what you need and make notes, okay? And then just work your way through these laps. But don't give up on working your way through the laps. Never grow weary of doing good, okay? Because this is something good for you, for your life, for your family, all of that. You're welcome, Beverly. Okay, in the morning, I do a little show called The Shibby Show. And I hope that you join me on Facebook in the mornings, Monday through Friday, typically around 7:30, 7:40-ish. And I'm live every night at 7:30. The class starts over every Sunday night. I work all the way through Saturday, and then it starts over again. My prayer for you is keep them safe day and night. Give them courage, strength, and might. Thank you, Katrina. I'm so glad you're here. All right. Good night, everybody.